Canada has decided on what may be the next 4 years of governance in this country. Well, at least a portion of Canada has decided on this. And this vote and some other news that just came out may be rejuvenating the idea of Western separation. That's right. Danielle Smith has unveiled major updates to the Citizens Initiative Act, now giving a lower threshold for a citizen-led referendum. Ladies and gents, welcome back. We're moving into the same era of governance in Canada that we've seen over the past 10 years. That's right. Nothing is changing except the head, the face at the top. No, actually, some things are changing. It's probably going to get worse. Let's just be honest about this. And well, even on his victory speech, Mark Carney gave a little taste of what's to come here.
We are once again at one of those hinge moments of history. Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over. The system... It's
over. Our relationship with the United States and its historical reference, all of that is over. And this is the kind of thing, well, there was no cheers there, but this is the kind of thing that Mark Carney is bringing for us. Now, a lot of people are not having this. A lot of people are saying, forget it. I'm not going to stick around. Or maybe not just me leaving, perhaps maybe I'm going to bring a lot of people with me. Here's Ryan Hemsley. He's been on the show and he's woken up again to this idea.
Hey folks, my name is Ryan Hemsley. Election night is upon us and it looks like the Conservative Party is losing. So if you think the idea of the 51st state is dead, mark my goddamn words, it's going to be more aggressive than you've ever seen before. There is not one chance in hell I'm going to allow this Liberal government to destroy the next 10 years of my life. 51st state, Pierre Poilievre, or bust. Period. Okay? They think that debate's over? Watch. Just watch me. I've been quiet now, letting Pierre do his own thing, as I should. I've been quiet. No more 51st, watch me.
That's just some strong words. Now, it's not only coming from Ryan here, which you can tune in next Monday. He'll be on the show. We'll be doing a live stream in the evening. So look forward to that because this is going to be a lot of fun. But this is the sentiment that's going around. Alberta might be saying, hey, you know what? Take off, eh? Don't like what's going on. We're just gonna do our own thing.
Bill 54 proposes many changes to Alberta election rules, among them lowering the threshold for a citizen-led referendum to 10% of people who voted in the last election. It would currently take 20% of eligible voters. The bill would also allow 120 days to gather those signatures, a boost from 90 days. The Premier wanted...
I just want to drill this one home. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that it used to be 600,000 signatures needed to bring that along, and it had to be gathered within 90 days. Now it is only 177,000 signatures to start a referendum, and they have 120 days to make that happen. Now, I spoke with Keith Wilson, did a huge podcast about this. We're probably going to have him on again to talk about this because now it looks imminent. It looks like something that may happen very soon. But the threshold seemed doable at the time, but now it seems likely. It just seems actually likely. Here we go.
To the Conservatives to win, but says she's still not a separatist.
Well, before we let her speak, honestly, this is Danielle Smith from several years ago, perhaps over a decade ago. Maybe she's changed her mind since, but this was her sentiment then.
And if you go and just draw the line straight down North America, maybe all the way down to Texas, maybe that needs to be the new alignment of how our trade ties work. And then we can still have a relationship with Canada and Ottawa, but it will no longer be our most important relationship. Our most important relationship should be with our peers who we will have more direct trading relationships with. And the country never really made sense east-west. It still doesn't. Because if you look at the fact that we don't even have an east-west pipeline, for instance, that gives you an indication of how difficult it is to try to get anything done across the entire country. Maybe we should start just make a decision that we're going to work together on regional interests and create, because we do have this new West partnership, and we do have mechanisms to do it. Maybe you formalize it, and then you broaden it out and just spend more time developing collaborations with people who want to collaborate with you. I feel like we keep on banging our head against the wall, asking Quebec and Ontario to love us, and they don't.
And they don't, and they absolutely don't. And that's the reality of the situation. Now she's saying this.
I believe in Alberta's sovereignty within a united Canada. However, there is a citizen-initiated referenda process that if citizens want to put a question on a ballot and get enough of their fellow citizens to sign that petition, then those questions will be put forward. Again, I don't want to prejudge what a question might be.
But the NDP
But the NDP has things to say. That's great. Now, just to drive this home, this is a huge win for Alberta, but it's also a huge win for democracy, as we've been promised for a long time out in the West that things would change on how the elections work. I mean, it was all the way back in 2015 that Justin Trudeau was promising electoral change. That didn't come, and for obvious reasons. This is very, very obvious. Now, Danielle Smith changing these rules for, citizen-led initiatives. This is massive.
We are expanding opportunities for Albertans to be involved in direct democracy by making changes to the threshold needed for successful citizens' initiatives. The signature collection time for citizens' initiatives will be extended from 90 days to 120 days. We are also improving the process by setting the threshold to be 10% of the number of eligible voters who participated in the last general election, as opposed to being either 10 or 20% of total registered voters.
That is massive. That is really, really massive. And with the growing support for an Alberta separatist movement, it looks like there may be a divorce between Alberta and the rest of Canada. Now, if Alberta were to leave, we'd probably see very quickly Saskatchewan jumping on board or doing its own thing to separate as well. Who knows what might happen with British Columbia, but we may see a new map being drawn of Canada, the participants in the country, and what is going to happen moving forward. And it's all basically because of this last election. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. And of course, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.